24 hours, then that may limit our rain chances here. So I know we've been advertising pretty high rain chances over the last several days, but our higher resolution models, they don't go out as far in time, so they're only able to see out 48, 72 hours in advance. Our global models, like the ones you sometimes hear about, the European, GFS, those can go out as far as 10 days. So those are really the only ones we had a long-term outlook for the weekend to look at, and they are still consistently showing over an inch of rain for most of the region through the weekend. Now, these higher resolution models, they have the ability to materialize storms a little bit more efficiently, and they can kind of tap into more of the smaller scale processes happening around the region. So right now, our higher resolution models are keeping that heavier rain threat south of the CSRA, mainly south of I-16, still bringing us the opportunity maybe for some rainfall during the day Saturday, but it just doesn't look to be as heavy of a rain threat as what we have been talking about the past couple of days. So that wave pushes through during the day Saturday, still expecting rain, just may not be expecting quite as much rain. And as we continue into Sunday, the main cold front side of this system is going to be pushing through. So ahead of the front, we are anticipating a decent line of downpours, maybe some thunderstorms ahead of the front that will just gradually move east through the CSRA. Starting Sunday morning and lasting at least until early Sunday afternoon, but I would imagine a lot of the second half of our Sunday does look a lot drier for us. This particular high resolution model only goes up until about 11:30 a.m. Sunday, and with that that we're looking at, from what I can see, it's showing that we should see improving conditions later into our Sunday afternoon. So a couple of different scenarios on the board this weekend. I know you like us to pick one number for the high, one number for the low, and one number for the rain chances, but I like to work in scenarios. There's a couple different scenarios that could play out. So our global models, like we were talking about, the European and the GFS model, they're still going up to maybe close to 3.5 inches of rain from what both these models are showing for some portions of the CSRA. So they're still banking on a lot of rain this weekend, so I don't want to completely ignore it. It's just that our more higher resolution models, now that they're getting into the time frame of the weekend, they're really limiting our rain and just not showing quite as much rain as what these two are showing. So just to kind of compare a couple of cities, the IBM graph model, the high resolution model, is only going with less than 1/4 of an inch all weekend long as far as rain totals go for Augusta. The other two are showing 1.5 to 2 inches. So a big difference there. And I know we had to cancel a lot of outdoor parades Saturday, and there still could be some rain Saturday. It just may not be as heavy as what those global models have been showing. Temperatures are going to be warmer though. We should see highs stay in the 60s Saturday, mid to upper 60s, and then low 70s by Sunday. And remember, the rain threat Sunday, mainly in the morning through lunchtime. Afternoon does look drier for us. It's also going to be a little bit breezy Sunday with that cold front passing through. That should be able to pick up our winds and see winds sustained close to 15 miles an hour a lot of the day. So rain chances, what you're seeing here for Saturday may have to take it with a grain of salt. Everything we just discussed, that's based on some other models that are going with pretty high rain chances, but remember, maybe overdoing it a tad. Now Sunday, I think those rain chances are perfectly fine. I think we do have good rain that forms ahead of that front, and we'll have a good enough forcing. We won't have to worry about Gulf storms. So I would say Sunday morning, decent opportunity for some rain before we do dry out a little bit later into the afternoon. Now, as far as the wind threat goes, not expecting a huge wind threat. I said threat, that's kind of a trigger word. Not necessarily a threat, but just elevated winds expected into Sunday. They'll be not too bad out there Saturday, generally out of the south between 5 to 10. But as this cold front gets closer Sunday, we'll see that wind direction change out of the southwest. Could be sustained anywhere from around 10 to 15 miles an hour as the front pushes through, and just a little bit gusty behind it into Sunday night. But by the time we get to Monday next week, we're back to dry weather. And of course, we actually time out a 5-day dry weather stretch all day next work week. So unfortunately, the rain chances just kind of with us this weekend. Tough to say exactly when and where the rain's going to fall for your exact location. Just impossible to do. But if you have our First Alert weather app, if you plan to have any outdoor plans tomorrow, you may be able to get them in. The best thing I can tell you to do is just make sure you have our First Alert weather app. As soon as you're about to go out, open up that interactive radar, see if any rain is around your area. If it looks relatively dry, then we know that one scenario is playing out to where rain chances just look a little bit more minimal. So And Sunday, by the time we get to the afternoon, I know Columbia County, they've actually held out and they are still continuing to do their Christmas parade Sunday afternoon. I'm glad they did that because right now it does look good to go for the Columbia County Christmas parade later into the day on Sunday. But keep it here for the updates. We'll have the latest model runs come out later this evening, so we'll have those updates coming up on News 12 at 11, see if anything changes too much, but just a tricky forecast moving forward. But hopefully you have a great night, and we'll see you again come up on News 12 at 11.